Hi everyone. I want to thank you all for your lovely messages, your comments, your outpouring of support, your love, and for standing with me. Though I haven't been able to respond, I want you all to know that it's love and gratitude from your girl. Listen, this is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. By now, you all know that I have resigned from CP24 and Bell. I was not fired. I was not let go or laid off. I have never been on contract. You are all used to seeing me smile, see me happy and full of energy, but things are not always as they seem. You see me on TV, dressed up, full of life, put together. I'm just a happy soul, very passionate about storytelling, and a bubbly energy individual who always wants to share my happiness. Help bring some sunshine into all of your lives. But on the inside, I have been really hurting. Why? Because of the way Belle had been treating me. I gave my everything to the company. Literally my blood, my sweat, and my tears. My story spans 11 and a half years. In those 11 and a half years with the company, I only received a raise of about $14. As a long-time Emmy Award-winning TV personality, I have been treated like a token and a commodity by CP24 and Bell. Passed over for promotions more times than I can count. I was just a filler for Bell, thrown a breadcrumb so I would just stop asking for more. I received hardly any raises and no promotions or opportunities over my 11 years. Except CP24 would give me opportunities when filling in for white colleagues, weather and hosting. Over those 11 and a half years, I was never told a single negative thing about my performance. Not once. I asked, but there were never any criticisms. I heard, "You are the very fabric that makes CP24 what it is. You are loved. You are the bright spot in a wheel of negativity. You are the P in CP24. When you think CP24, you think Patricia Jaggernauth." But still, no solidified opportunities. Some of you have questioned my qualifications, so let me share. I've worked nearly 20 years in television. I'm an Emmy Award-winning TV personality. I've won multiple Canadian media awards. I'm the most followed television personality at Bell Media. I've worked for E! News at NBC in Los Angeles. I've appeared on BBC for special coverage for weather. And I have been the host of North America's largest Caribbean festival, the Toronto Caribbean Carnival. I have been highly requested as host for all community events at Bell Media. So clearly, and most certainly, I was qualified for every position I applied for at Bell and CP24. This is not a PJ issue. This is a Bell Media issue with me and not giving me the opportunities. I worked in a very toxic work environment. There were more mental health leaves taken by my colleagues and more colleagues resigning than I can even count. The environment was terrible for mental health, even for the most positive. Those who worked with me, worked beside me, my amazing team at CP24, have witnessed firsthand how many times I've applied for jobs and open positions, how much I was loved by you, by everyone, but also how many times I was passed over, time and time and time again. I have lost out on so many opportunities to white colleagues, from weather positions to hosting positions across Bell Media. These are all opportunities that I've interviewed for, were overqualified for, and told by management that I was perfect for these positions. But I was constantly filling in, and I never had a leader ever offer me a contract. Never had a Bell executive made an investment in me. I was a commodity, just a filler. Good enough to fill in, but never good enough to invest in. Well, I am more. I am good enough. I was misled by Bell over and over again. Many of you have asked me why I did this for so long. And if I wasn't getting those opportunities, I held on to those false promises from all waves of management. I was misled by management to believe those opportunities were on the way. Of course, I held on to hope. This was my dream job, guys. In 11 and a half years, there were different managers that were in charge. They were great fans of mine. They told me they watched me for years. They told me how amazing I was, that I was very loved by even their own families, but still no opportunities. I was denied a basic living wage. I received my first raise on my 5th year of working at CP24. That was the year of 2016. And I never received another raise until CP24's on-air staff unionized. That was in 2019. I believed that the union would act in my best interest, but they didn't. Prior to the union, I asked for a raise time and time again, and I was denied, told that there wasn't even $1 to give me. This as I watched white male colleagues, some who had never been on TV before, get 6-figure contracts. This hurt so much. So very much. I was young, guys. I was building my career, worked so hard, always said yes, always available, worked every weekend, every long weekend, every holiday. Why? To show and prove to management that I'm reliable, I'm hardworking, and I was always ready to do more. I had to hustle for my livelihood. I had to freelance. I was making significantly less than any of my colleagues every 2 weeks from CP24. This, of course, if I didn't fill in. Not every week is the same for a freelancer. I worked 2 days a week with no other guaranteed shifts. My hand was forced to work outside of the network. Management was uncomfortable, but couldn't offer me more. So I fought to freelance, and I fought to survive. I built a very successful career freelancing. Yet I still held on to hope that I would lock in a part-time or full-time gig at CP24, CTV, and Bell. I kept showing up. I kept applying. I was the strongest candidate for every position I applied for. My skill and my talent was verbally celebrated by all levels of management at Bell. But that was just lip service. I kept hearing no, but was told that the right opportunity, it will come. Does this mean because I was cementing a career as a freelancer that it was okay to continue to be at the bottom of the pay scale at Bell? Does this mean that if you are a successful person outside of your job, that your employer can pay you less? I communicated my interest at Bell. I made it very clear that I would leave it all for a stable gig at CP24, CTV, and Bell. But still I heard no. So I kept filling in. This past summer, the summer of 2022, I was told I could no longer accept freelance gigs without permission, that it would be a conflict of interest to the company. Fine, I would give up my entire freelancing career. But where was my offer for more within Bell? There wasn't one. Nothing extra. From Bell, while I was impeding my ability to freelance, how would I survive? How could I live? I wouldn't. They wanted control, to see me lose. And here's where I realize I'm done. All the hope I was holding on to was merely false.